Chris Cuomo here. That's my line, not yours, Liz. Welcome to NewsNation. Thought she was having a seizure there for a second. Good thing. I hope she has good health care. So this is where right and left come to be reasonable. As Liz and I were just talking, the two parties both presented competing plans in the Senate today for a vote on ACA subsidies. They both knew their proposal would fail. They're fine with that. Neither addresses the real problem, and they all know it. Now, the first real problem for us is, did this impasse, did the fact that it's a charade, that it's a farce, did that get any attention? No, it's not in any of your trending lists. You know how a quote can stick with you in life? News is what the people in power want to stay hidden. Everything else is just publicity. It's an old adage in journalism. Bill Moyers, legend, referred to it in a speech some 20 years ago, and I remember it like it was yesterday. His son, by the way, has done an amazing job in the addiction and recovery space. Great family, helping people understand the world around them. What is trending today? What the powerful want hidden is not there, right? A grand jury failing to indict the New York AG. Good. Failing or refusing, depending on your perspective, right? Trump's health and his protests that he's in A+++ shape, just like the economy. Wanting to audit the Epstein files before their release. Hostilities and hot talk with Venezuela. The latest on going after Senator Kelly and Homeland Secretary Noem. None of these makes a bit of difference to you and your family. Not in terms of what matters most. Not in terms of what shapes your dreams or what is an obstacle to the same. Metaphorically, they are each and all the smallest animals in the jungle. Meanwhile, the elephant is there for all to see. Not access to health care. Not the ability to get health insurance. But the real devil behind those details. What this country allows multiple layers of greedy corporate actors to charge the rest of us for what matters most. The problem with health care is and always has been cost. People are more bothered by the price of cigarettes and how much a Big Mac is than they are by the cost of health care, when it is crippling families in their time of need all across the country. Even the president's affordability tour, which I am a big fan of because I want that front and center so I don't have to talk about whether or not his rallies are racist or whether or not members of his administration are secretly gay or any other clickbait that you guys decide to be turned on by. At least he is nominally talking about what matters more, right? This matters more. How much attention is he giving to healthcare cost? Very, very little. He has harsh words for the people responsible. I like that. He sees the greed. He sees the lobbying, but he also sees the leverage. So he's not really taking that on. He's going to take on the Democrats. He's going to take on Biden. That's easy. Why? Because there's advantage in that. He's not going to make any advantage taking on the cost structure. No way. It'll crush him. But not here. Not at NewsNation. This is why we exist, to talk about what they don't want to expose. They shut down this government over their health care subsidies, which are just a symptom, okay? Millions of people suffered for weeks for this supposed noble cause. And since then, you haven't heard a word about it, except these two failed votes today, right? And all they're really doing is saying that the other side's to blame for it. Why? Look. They can't take on this power structure. They can't do it. I'll explain it to you, all right? These guys that I'm showing you right now, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, Senator John Thune on the right, Speaker Johnson. Google how much money they've taken from the health care. PACs. Well, there's no real coordination with the campaign. Look at the millions of dollars they've gotten. So the left's idea is extend the subsidies. Good. Help people pay. Doesn't do anything on costs. The right says, oh, we're going to put it into your own account. That's not going to affect costs. Hold on. This is all about Band-Aids on bullet holes. Okay? You having your own account sounds like control. It's the illusion of control because it has nothing to do with how much you have to pay for that thing. It's just the mechanism of payment. You see what I'm saying? Both sides, what do they want? They want answers or solutions that don't touch the real problem because they're afraid. The solutions to address their problem, which is really one problem they both have, they don't want to take on the corporations driving healthcare costs. In the last decade, healthcare spending is up 75% in this country, double the pace of inflation. Millions of Americans with health insurance are in medical debt. Why? Greed. That's not true, their army of lobbyists will cry and drown me out. Our margins are very small. We have great outcomes. If the margins are so small, why has executive pay in the industry increased just as rapidly as the cost structure? Why has stock price been among the top performers? If the margins are so small, if it's such a bad business, if it's almost a charity. So while they get rich and their stock prices surge, because that's all they care about, there has to be a loser. So who's going to lose? You. Over 100 million Americans say they have medical debt. 100 million. Medical debt is literally the single largest share of all consumer debt. 1/3 of those with that debt say it impacts their ability to afford food, rent, and utilities. Oof, boy, we should have added this to the 4 freedoms. Right? What is more basic? It's not just the poor and the uninsured, because that's what they're going to do, right? They're going to tell you it's the poor. It's Medicaid. It's Medicaid that's killing you. It's those people on the food stamps. If it weren't for them, BS. Nearly half of adults who make $90,000 or more than 6 in 10 with insurance, have medical debt. You want me to say it again? Overwhelming percentages, okay? 45% of those making over 90 grand. One study found in just the last decade the impact of employers passing down health insurance costs because they can't keep paying it as it goes up and keep their margins for their shareholders has actually depressed wages. They're paying you less because they have to pay the rich healthcare companies more. Someone's got to lose. It's you. Many argue with me about this. Oh, don't make affordability all about health care. It really isn't. You have mortgages, you have rent, you have food, you have wages, you have energy. Yeah, okay. Here's why I do it, okay? Because it's not like I don't care about the other things. The job is to care on what matters most, and this is it. Brookings, conservative, 1975. Since then, healthcare costs had the same impact on income inequality in this country as shipping jobs abroad, as automation, as cutting jobs here as part of corporate contraction. Each of those that we talk about all the time, right? China, China, China. Domestic healthcare companies have done us just as dirty as they have. In terms of just raw dollars, if the healthcare, let me say this slowly, if the healthcare sector were its own country, it would be the 3rd largest economy in the world. Let it sink in. Healthcare spending is now almost 20% of our GDP. Healthcare companies represent 15% of the stock market. It is dominant. How'd they pull this off? Paying the watchman. For all the talk of draining the swamp, the healthcare sector is the single largest lobbying sector. And I'll tell you why that's true. They'll say, no, it's the banks, it's the finance sector. Hold on. Here's why that's not fair. Because the finance business has so many products and sharing with the healthcare lobby. Insurance, reinsurance, securitizing of debt and of policies, trading their stocks, using them in derivative instruments. They're interwoven. The sector by itself gave almost $1.5 billion in 1 year. Both sides say they're going to take on the donor class. They are lying to your face. The healthcare sector is consistently filling pockets on both sides. And let me tell you, my brothers and sisters on the left, I love the No Kings rally. I love the idea of going after why we've gotten so top-heavy in this country. It didn't used to be this way. There are a lot of reasons for it. But let me tell you, you guys take the most money from these people. 2/3 of the lobbying money from the healthcare industry goes to Democrats. You wonder why Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer are all about the subsidies, but not about reducing costs. Notice how quiet Senator Leader John Thune and Speaker Johnson are. Look how much money they've gotten from the same pocket. Look, Bernie Sanders has not taken money from the healthcare people, okay? He is pitching Medicare for all. Why? Because it is a simple solution to a complex problem. And still, it makes him ahead of everybody else. I'm telling you, he does not. Look at his website. Look at him from when he ran for president. Look at any of his interviews. He has no clue how to make Medicare for all work. And I'm not disrespecting the senator. I love him. I think he's great for our democracy. Okay? I really do. A slogan is easy. Medicare is not simple and not cheap. Premiums are going up for people on Medicare, too. And Medicare keeps expanding plans and layers for a reason. Because it's not just what this behemoth gives, this healthcare virus, this monster, okay? It's what they threaten to take if you mess with them. Oh, you want us to cut our costs? Okay, there goes access to hospitals and clinics in rural and lower income areas. They got to go. Got to get rid of them. Sorry. Oh, and the jobs. Got to cut the jobs. How many jobs, by the way? It's the largest employer in the country. 1 in 8 are in a job tied to the industry. There is not a single swing district that wouldn't be decimated if healthcare pulled out. They know it. They make sure the lawmakers know it, and they live it. Haven't you noticed that while the right will bash Obamacare as having made these guys rich, they won't do anything about the richness? Don't you think that's strange? That they won't do anything to attack what is really driving the costs? They'll say they're ready to die on the hill of subsidies. This is the right fight. Don't be weak, Fetterman. What was Fetterman saying? Hey, why don't we do something about the costs? If we're going to shut down the government, why don't we shut it down over the costs, not the subsidies? He was right. They just keep throwing. A subsidy is just taking my money and giving it to somebody else who doesn't have as much money to pay these people who won't change what they charge. You see what I'm saying? And now we have a media and digital media where they'll make anything else a news item rather than deal with this. You see what I'm saying? This is how big it is. This is how obvious it is. The only way this system really works is the way it's working for me right now. So I get this sinus infection, right? I've got this high, I pay the most from a group insurance with a massive group, a massive pool, Nexstar, the largest holder of television companies in the country, beautiful company. I got great insurance. The doctors I'm using that have me on air right now when I could not speak this morning, none of them even discuss insurance with me. None of them take it. The system works for me because I can pay my way. And that's not the way it's supposed to work. My ability to reach in my pocket and pay, then what the hell do I have an insurance policy for? You see what I'm saying? It would be grotesque if we were talking about paying for pizza, let alone paying for what we need most when times are the worst. And that is when they go after these people. Did you know that charitable hospitals, that a significant percentage of care that they deem charitable, do you know what it really is? It's when they've chased you and bankrupted you and worked you dry and can't get another cent that they then write off what they couldn't get from you as charity. I know it. I won awards for reporting it. Nothing has ever changed. That's what should kill you about this. That is what should make you desperate for a man or woman, I don't care if they call themselves a cantaloupe, who wants to take on the structure of cost. And it's all right there. It's the layers of administration. It's how they're able to set the markets. I'm telling you, they know the answers. They're afraid of this. If this is what we were talking about, this country would change for the better. Because let me tell you something. There are a lot of things that are unfair in this world, okay? Nothing comes before this, in my mind. Because we're dealing with people. When do you need this, okay? Because it's just hit the fan, right? That's why you need this. Checkups, sure. Checkups, great. Preventative health, great, great. But we've all heard the story, right? Oh, yeah, Pop got out of the hospital, and we got a bill for $250,000. We got a bill for $600,000. Oh, the baby had that weird thing when it was first born, had to stay in 3 days, and we got you've heard these stories. You may have had them yourself. Where does that number come from? Because they're in control of the system, right? They're in control of that system. And let me tell you something. Medical debt, not dischargeable in bankruptcy. Oh, I wonder where that came from. Okay? This should be unacceptable to all of you. It should be all you want to hear from your potential leaders. Not just from a financial perspective, from a moral one. This business is dominating us for the worst reasons in the space that matters most. They are the biggest driver of what is making it harder for people to live a life worth living. And they're supposed to be in the business of making life better. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.